Yo, what's up everybody? This is your boy Timmy and welcome to my presentation.
Is that amazing?
So today I will talk about two scientists. The first one is John Charles Polanyi and the second one is Max Planck. John Charles was born in 23rd January 1929. He is a Canadian scientist who achieved the 1986 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. His work named chemical kinetics, which is the study of the rates of chemical processes. Observing the conditions will affect the speed of chemical reactions and yield information about the reactions, mechanism, and transition states, and the construction of mathematical models that help to describe the characteristic of the chemical reactions. Later on, the chemical reactions is a development for a chemical laser in the future. Polanyi's family derived from Germany, but they moved to England because of the persecution of Jews under Hitler's empire. His father is a chemical professor at Manchester University of England. Moved to England in a short period. They had to fly to Canada to avoid German bombings during World War II. He and his family stayed in Toronto in 3 years while he attended to an elementary school and have no interest in science as much as in sociology and literature. After that, he went back to Manchester, where he finished high school and university in 1946. In 1952, he received his PhD in chemistry about work of the strengths of chemical bonds in compounds at a very high temperature. John decided to go back to Canada after finishing his schooling, where he had his first job at the University of Toronto in 1956. During his career as a scientist, he always criticized and proposed $1 trillion US national missile defense system. In 1986, he and his two friends were awarded Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his work in chemical kinetics. The scientist was honored to be elected as a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1971. Throughout his career, he had received many awards, which including the Marlowe Medals of the Faraday Societies in 1962, Centenary Medals of the British Chemical Societies 1965, and countless awards and elections. Max Planck. Max Planck was born in 23rd April 1858 and died in 4 October 1947. Was a German theoretical physicist who was awarded Nobel Prize for Physics in 1918 by his work about energy quanta. He was born in Kiel, Schleswig, and passed away at the age of 89. He was the father of quantum theory, which was a revolution for humans to have a deeper understanding of the atomic and subatomic process. He and Einstein were two people that have their paradoxes which rebutted all the knowledge that humankind have known so far. Moreover, their theories were applied to military to help developing the atomic bomb, which affected seriously every aspect in the near future. Max Planck, whose full name Max Carl Ernst Ludwig Planck, was the sixth child in the family, whose father was a famous law professor at the University of Kiel. His first contact with physics when he was 17. An excellent student with all the subjects have to face with a difficult career decision. Eventually, he chose physics over everything. When he was in the University of Munich, he replied to the professor that he did not wish to discover new things, but instead he wanted to understand the fundamentals of the field in classical physics. Max's major experiments were performed in scientific career, which studying the diffusions of hydrogens through theoretical physics. Later on, he transferred to a year where he and his college friends have their study on thermodynamics. In 1979, at the age of 21, Max Planck was honored to receive his PhD in physics with the highest honor after 3 months since he submitted his doctoral thesis concerning about the second law of thermodynamics. His work in 19,000 has solved the problem about the electromagnetic spectrums emitted by hot objects in the future. Throughout his career as a scientist, he has received lots of awards, which you can list it, like Nobel Prize in Physics 1918, Lorentz Medal 1927, Copley Medal 1929, and Goethe Prize in 1947.